What's up, guys? Welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you your Brave Cross Hero of the Week. This week's Hero of the Week is the man with the lightning spear, Markus. Markus is classified as a front melee DPS and with ratings of A+ for survivability, SS for DPS, and B+ for support. His main skill is called the Thunder Spear, where Markus forsakes his awakening to attain higher DPS output. During combat, this consumes 80 of his rage, which automatically triggers when he gets that 80 rage. And this increases his current attack damage by 180%, and adds another 30 lightning damage. Attack units get shock debuff for 4 seconds and losing the HP equal to 61% of Markus' attack per 1 second. This effect factors in defense. Damage can be stacked 6 times. However, the max duration remains to be 4 seconds, only the damage is stacked. All damage dealt to the target is current attack is converted into HP for Markus. This is including the shock damage as well. The shock damage ignores death immune effects such as Dragoons, Dragon Guts, and Empyrean's Peerless Warsoul. His basic attack deals 200% attack damage to 3 enemy targets, and this attack doesn't add any rage and reduces the target's rage by 2, and Markus regains 2 rage. His talents include the Code of Chivalry, which prevents any defense debuff, and every 10% of his HP loss increases his attack speed by 20%. All damage from Markus doesn't trigger any rage gain effects caused by HP loss. When HP is less than 12%, he will only receive damage from up to 4 attacks every 2 seconds. Excess damage received are all nullified. Iron Wall 3, Rage 4 are all self-explanatory. Flash Dance is basically an enhance of his basic attacks. So after 4 attacks, he twirls his spear, dealing 60% attack, and that ignores defense to up to 11 units in 400 range. This also has a 35% chance to paralyze for 4 seconds. His mythic ability is currently locked, but I will talk about it. It's called Thunder Surge. This is when Markus will engulf himself in lightning, receiving 70% less damage from attacks that ignore defense. And if Markus survives, friendly rear units have 20% chance to be immune to damage as well. 6-star and 7-star are all the same throughout the different heroes. However, the only difference is depending on the quality of your hero, the numbers will be a little bit higher. So for example, Grand Heroes will get more buffs from it rather than the rare and common heroes. So now let's talk about his unity. Markus' unity is called Famous, which is currently locked because we are missing one of the heroes. However, he does have Give and Take, which you can unlock when you get Phantom, and Front Steed when you unlock Charger. So now let's talk about the pros and cons of Markus. As always, we start with the pros. Markus has very much decent DPS at currently 5-star. Markus is just recently been released, so there's not much of information that I can give you. However, I have tried Markus in obviously Lair and a lot of PvP as well with friends. And while I do think there are a lot of good pros with Markus, because of the limited shards that are currently available, there's just not much of, DPS or survivability that can be applied for Markus. Because right now, there are a lot of heroes that have maximized their damage output, such as maxing out their destiny bonus, and of course getting to 7 stars. However, if you do fight with Markus on an even level, then he definitely has the DPS output that you want in a front hero. His defense and HP are quite decent and can be compared to a faded Eben Wolf. Now, his attack is higher than your normal front DPS, which is an astounding almost 10k on my Markus so far, and this is with very subpar enchantments as well. Another pro that I would like to mention is of course his quote-unquote awakening. He doesn't really have one, but this one activates straight away as soon as he gets 80 rage, which means that he will activate this faster than any other hero. So getting that buff is definitely a plus. Plus the shock debuff as well damages 61% of Markus' attack per 1 second, which is huge if you think about it. Imagine 10k, 61% is about, 6,000 attack damage ticking every 1 second, which is quite a lot. Although this does factor in defense, it's still quite a lot if you think about it. And the other good thing is Dragoon's Dragon Guts and Empyrean's Peerless Warsaw will not be able to block the shock damage. Now let's talk about his basic attack, which is 200% to 3 enemy targets. This also doesn't add any rage, and he gains rage from this as well. Code of Chivalry is basically his adrenaline rush, so every time he loses 10% of his HP, you gain that 20% attack speed, which is huge. You can probably stack this up to, who knows? It doesn't actually say. So you could max out his attack speed once every 10% HP is lost. And finally, I will talk about Flash Dance, because this has a 35% chance to paralyze enemy targets. So basically, once they're paralyzed, you can interrupt their auto attacks and sometimes even awakening, as far as I know. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment below and let me know about that. Currently, his mythic is unlocked. I won't talk about it too much because it is currently locked. If Markus survives, basically, it's just more damage immunity for everyone else, which is good, and it's good to control damage for your teammates. Now let's go through the cons. There's not much cons for Markus. I do believe that he is a good hero. However, the current meta doesn't allow him to survive very, very long. Even though I say he has very good defense, good HP pool, these are all wiped out because of 6-7 star max destiny. But hey, if you are new to the game and you got Markus and no one has like 7 stars and stuff like that, then Markus is definitely a good hero. However, of course, being a grand hero means that you will need to spend gems to get the shards required to get to 6 and 7 stars, and of course eventually maximizing his destiny bonus. So this is one of the biggest cons for Markus, which is pretty much the same throughout the different grand heroes that you can get. However, since Markus is just a brand new hero, you can't get him on War Stadium or cross-server War Stadium or City Siege as well, while in the others like Shantus, you can get them through cross-server War Stadium, and of course you can get her in City Siege as well. So now that I've talked about the pros and cons, what are my final thoughts on Markus? I do believe Markus has a lot of potential, especially in the DPS department. It's just too good to be true that this is all his abilities. The only problem is, of course, right now on my server with the current meta, Markus just won't be able to survive too long to be able to shine in the arena. I've tried him multiple times, so I know from experience that he just doesn't survive long enough to be able to pull off any decent damage for that matter. In PvE, I do see him being able to contribute a lot during story mode and maybe even 10 Eunuchs Rebellion. However, I wouldn't really pick him in there because he does have that AoE ability or attack, basic attack, but it's just not triggered all the time. You have to wait, every fourth attack to be able to maximize the AoE damage that he outputs. I can also see him doing a little bit of contribution in the enemy invasion. However, there are definitely beefier heroes for you to choose over rather than Markus. But if you're lacking a little bit of DPS, then he definitely can add something there as well. And for PvP, like I said, currently in my server, Markus is quite useless. However, in newer servers, if you got Markus at 5-star, he definitely will leave a mark, I would say, in the PvP arena. See what I did there? Leave a mark. Sorry guys, that wasn't really intentional, but I just thought about it. Anyway, I do see him being able to be used in Dominion as well as the Rebel, but again, if you check out my Dominion guide, you don't really need Markus to be able to beat the Dominion floors. And I think that's it for this video, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. As always, I would like to hear what you think of Markus as the hero of the week this week, and let me know in the comments below what you think of him. This is Munchkin logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level. Thanks for watching.